Hi YouTube fam, thank you for joining me today. My name is Gina Marie Bova, and this is where I like to come to talk about solved and unsolved true crime cases, facts and stats about true crime, and missing person cases that I don't feel have gotten enough attention from mainstream media. If these are subjects that you're interested in, I do hope that you will choose to subscribe to this channel. And if you hit the little bell next to the subscribe button, YouTube will notify you whenever I upload new content. Stories that I discuss on this channel are not easy to hear. Some are stories of murder, kidnapping, child abuse, rape, molestation, etc. If this is something that you cannot listen to, please take care of yourself and click off this channel. I do not sugarcoat things. I give details when details can be given, and I show photos that even bring me to tears. But these are stories that need to be told. Evil lives among us and does not go away when we bury our heads in the sand. Some of you will notice that I have been gone for a while. There's a pretty good reason for it. My son was in a motorcycle collision. He was very, very badly hurt. Fractured skull, fractured cheekbones, fractured orbital sockets, bruised lungs, 5 fractured ribs. Both arms were broken. Both legs were broken. His pelvis was broken. He had a nicked carotid artery, which caused a 60% closure of his carotid artery, made him extremely high risk for a blood clot that could kill him or cause a stroke. So we spent a lot of time in the hospital. Unfortunately, the hospital did not give very good care. I am thankful that there are some people that are still in the medical field that care about their patients, but there's just so much misinformation and one hand not knowing what the other hand is doing, and it caused a lot of issues during the hospital stay, to the point where Mama Bear got extremely fed up and eventually thrown out of the hospital. The fact that he got in this wreck made me want to do this video. Somebody cut him off, didn't bother to look or see him, tried to make a left-hand turn from the right-hand lane. And my son was in the left-hand lane, attempted to avoid the crash, but was unable to. And so this video here, I decided I'm going to do a quick one. Just real quick one. Try and bring some awareness to the fact that there are motorcycles out there, and a lot of these accidents can be avoided. So I'm going to give you some statistics and some information, and hopefully, if even one person gets something out of this and drives a little bit more careful and pays attention to the motorcycles on the road, and one person gets to not have to go through what my son has gone through in the last few weeks, then this video will be worth it. Okay, so there are tips that I could give for people who ride motorcycles as well as people who are in cars to help avoid hitting a motorcycle. And so that's what I'm going to give now. I would like to say, though, number one, always be aware of your surroundings, and that goes for either side. Motorcyclists, people in cars. If you're driving a vehicle, you need to know that there is a blind spot on either side of you. There are going to be blind spots. Motorcyclists need to try to avoid being in the blind spots, and automobile drivers, you have necks for a reason. Not only the mirrors to look in, but you turn around and you look before you change lanes, before you make a turn. Always make sure that there's nobody there. Motorcycles seem to be going a lot slower than they actually are because of their size, and so you gotta make allowances for that as well. Oh, excuse me, I am so tired, y'all. You don't even know. It's been a long couple weeks, so bear with me on this one, okay? Here's something that I found, some information, okay? So factors that have the most impact on motorcycle accidents. And this is according to DOT, Department of Transportation, okay? Geographic factors, If you live in a city or other urban area, you have a greater risk of being involved in an accident than you would if you lived in a rural area. For example, 61% of fatal motorcycle crashes occurred in urban settings and slightly under 39% in rural areas. Time of day. Most fatal accidents occur between noon and 9 p.m. during the week. However, the most dangerous weekend hours for motorcycle riders are between noon and midnight. The rate at which they occur seems to be split between day and night, so there's not a whole lot of real information there. Weather. If you were asked to guess the type of weather conditions that prove most dangerous for motorcycle riders, and you guessed rain or snow, you'd be wrong. About 89% of fatal motorcycle accidents occur when the skies are clear or slightly cloudy. Only about 2% of accidents can be attributed to the roads or visibility affected by rain or fog. Intoxicated driving. Of the fatal motorcycle accidents occurring in 2019 and 2020, it was found that 29% of the motorcycle operators were intoxicated. It also found that 40% of the riders between 40 and 44 years of age who died in crashes during those years were drunk. Never drive drunk. I don't care if you're on a motorcycle or in a car. It's ridiculously stupid to be driving drunk or intoxicated and impaired. There's enough accidents out there with completely sober people. Why throw a drug or an alcohol into the mix? Motorcycle helmet use. Motorcycle helmets save lives, and they reduce the severity of injuries to riders and their passengers. Estimates show that helmets are 37% effective in preventing rider fatalities and 41% effective in preventing passenger deaths. My son was wearing a helmet, and he had 2 fractures in his skull, 2 fractures in his orbital sockets, and his cheekbones were shattered. Imagine had he not been wearing a helmet. Had he not been wearing one, I could very surely say that he would not be with us today. Thank goodness he was wearing his helmet. And I hope even if you're in a state where it's not mandatory that you wear one, if you're riding, you need to be wearing a helmet. So now that I have given you those statistics about the dangers of riding a motorcycle, here are 5 tips that can help ensure that you arrive at your destination safe and unharmed on a motorcycle. Number 1 is awareness. Some people might prefer to call it defensive driving. You need to be alert to situations that may endanger your safety. Leaving sufficient space between your motorcycle and the vehicle ahead of you is going to help you stay safe. Staying out of other people's blind spots, those are just a couple of the examples of defensive driving. You have to make yourself visible. You have to wear bright clothing during the day and clothing made with reflective material at night. You also want to make sure that you've got good leathers on to help combat road rash if you were to hit the ground. If you put reflective tape on your helmet, it increases visibility. Make sure all your lights are working. Make sure you're using your blinkers and your headlights. Being visible includes staying out of those blind spots. I can't say that enough. If you wear appropriate safety gear, regardless of the laws in your state, you should definitely do this. DOT approved motorcycle helmet that fits your head properly and have it securely fastened at all times. Safety glasses or a face shield attached to your helmet protect your eyes. Long sleeves and pants along with gloves protect you from injury should you be knocked off your bike. Also, you need to ride a motorcycle that suits you. If your bike is too heavy, too big, or if it's overpowering, it's difficult to control and increases the risk of accident. Buy a motorcycle that you can control, particularly if you need to maneuver out of dangerous situations. You need to anticipate conditions. It may be a clear, sunny day when you start your ride, but weather conditions can quickly change and result in you riding in rain or snow. After checking the weather forecast before heading out, make sure that you also look at the route you plan to take and the address of the destination you're heading to, and make sure that the weather conditions are supposed to be good for your riding. Keep in mind that most of the common causes of motorcycle accidents were related to the behavior of the motorist and the motorcycle rider, meaning the car driver and the motorcyclist, okay? Therefore, making yourself a better rider is going to make you a safer one too. Drivers of cars and trucks should always keep their cell phones in the glove box to eliminate distractions. It's crucial that you communicate this rule to team drivers and follow up by understanding when they don't immediately answer your calls or texts. You only drive when you're sober and alert. Driving under the influence or driving while intoxicated, however you want to call it, puts both motorcyclists and other vehicles at risk for serious consequences. Alcohol is one of the biggest factors in motorcycle-related fatalities. Encourage your passengers to alert the driver to the presence of a motorcycle. It's important for everyone in the car to watch for things that the driver might not see. A passenger in the front or back seat has a different range of vision than the driver and could prevent an accident by speaking up. It is easy to misjudge motorcycle speed and distance. Give them extra room. Give them extra time. Most motorcycle accidents happen from automobiles rear-ending motorcycles. For automobiles, this could result in a minor fender bender, but for motorcyclists, this can be fatal. The best thing any driver can do is to prevent motorcycle accidents is to be more aware of their surroundings. No matter if that is braking in traffic or changing lanes, motorcycles are most vulnerable when you are not aware of them. Make sure that mirrors for your vehicle are in the proper position when you enter the vehicle as a driver. Check blind spots with mirrors and by physically turning around before changing lanes. While this is an important habit to cultivate for drivers, it's especially crucial during times when there could be a motorcycle in the vehicle's blind spot. Talk with your young and inexperienced drivers about being aware of the presence of motorcycles. Make sure that they understand that a fender bender for them could be fatal for someone riding a motorcycle or a scooter. Use caution when operating the door to exit a parked car, especially in areas with heavy traffic. Always look behind the car before opening the door. Slow down when going through intersections. One of the leading causes of collisions with vehicles and motorcycles is the driver failing to notice the presence of a motorcycle at an intersection. Use special caution in areas with road construction. Motorcyclists cannot navigate road hazards as easily as full-size vehicles. A small change in the grade of the road or a sudden stop can throw a motorcyclist. Don't rely on a motorcycle's turn signals. Like cars, sunlight at the right angle can render turn signals invisible. Motorcyclists may inadvertently leave their signal on or neglect to turn signals. Use them as well. So keep the volume turned down in your car. A driver may be able to hear a motorcycle even when they can't see it. But if your volume is up, the driver loses that advantage of being able to hear what's going on outside of your vehicle. Approaching motorcycles in the car's blind spot, sirens, or warnings from passengers go unnoticed when onboard entertainment volume overwhelms the noises outside. Provide safe space during inclement weather. And remember that motorcyclists get caught in inclement weather too. They have a tougher time handling the oil and the debris on pavement during rainstorms, so give them extra room to maneuver. Follow at a further distance to make sure it's possible to maintain a cushion of space. Raising awareness of the presence of motorcyclists on the road is crucial for everybody's safety. I would like everybody to take a moment and think about that. Remember that we're all on the roads together, and we all just want to get to where we're going safely and end up there in one piece, okay? Nobody should have to go through seeing their child laying on a stretcher, not knowing if they're going to make it to the hospital, alive or dead, because somebody didn't notice he was there and made a turn in front of him. And I understand that accidents happen, but a lot of these accidents can be avoided with just a little bit of common sense and prudence on everybody's part. I will be back. I'm back. So I will be filming more often and getting right back into the true crime that I'm known for. And I hope to see you guys soon. Hope you will continue to join me. And I thank you all for staying, the ones that are still here, all my subscribers that have stuck it out with me through all this uncertainty of whether or not I was coming back, or you guys have really cut me some slack, and I appreciate the hell out of it. You're not gonna be sorry. Okay, I'm back and better than ever. Until I see you again, I hope you all stay safe out there.